We hear about generative AI having the potential to hallucinate. How trustworthy is ReN?
We'd like it to be very trustworthy. And I think, that one of the things I speak to my team about often is how do we become hallucination free? We are sort of debating this and discussing it and ideating on a daily basis. The problem with the general purpose large language models is that they can hallucinate. They can make stuff up. They can be untruthful. They can fabricate. Simply because they don't know how to say no. A consultant, for example, right in front of you, or an expert in a domain, at some point would say, Martin, I don't have the answer to that question. Maybe go speak to another expert who could probably help you. And the models today don't do that. They do their best to answer every question, which means sometimes they answer those questions incorrectly or fabricate the answers. And often people have seen, citations or links that have been created that are fake or broken. And we are doing everything we can to make sure that the traceability, the evidence base that sits behind the response based on a question you ask ReN is of the highest possible standard.
So you can stop ReN using material outside the brief that you have given it. You can, in effect, ring-fence the information that you have assiduously gathered and put together.
Absolutely. The guardrails or the ring fencing is one of the most effective ways to control the response and to manage the risk that may come from external data sources that are suboptimal. So we use a lot of prompt tuning and prompt engineering to make sure that the machine responds based on the data it already has in its system. It's quite interesting, Martin, because there is this really popular architecture in generative AI that we refer to as RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So the way this works is retrieval from the highest quality data sets, i.e. disclosures of companies or annual reports, for example. Augmentation, or context, which is probably another word for augmentation, is the critical piece. So when you ask a machine a question, in particular ReN, when you ask ReN a question, ReN will not just answer the question based on the fastest available information it can find. It will go to the RAG, this reservoir of all of these files, and ask the reservoir and ask the system to give it fact and to give it evidence from those filings, and only then will it respond. So it's very accurate when it comes to the quality of that response, which isn't the case for the general purpose models.
Obviously, there is evolution with generative AI.